Have you ever wondered why some men in their 70s still walk with a confident stride, enjoy deep emotional connection with their partners, and wake up each morning feeling alive, while others quietly struggle with poor circulation, fading desire, and a deep sense of loneliness? It's not something many doctors will say out loud, but I will because it's the truth. The biggest reason older men suffer in the bedroom isn't age, it's their plate. Yes, the very food you eat each day may be slowly narrowing the blood vessels responsible for your most vital function as a man. But here's the surprising part. There are 5 simple natural foods that can help unblock those arteries and restore not just blood flow, but your confidence, your connection, and your vitality. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. It's not about prescriptions, surgery, or expensive pills. In fact, some of the most effective tools are already in your kitchen. But no one ever explained how or why they work, especially when it comes to improving blood flow where it matters most. And make no mistake, this isn't just about heart health. It's about performance, urinary strength, intimacy, pride. So what are these 5 foods and how do they work so quickly? In a moment, I'll walk you through each one and show you how they naturally increase nitric oxide, improve blood flow, and revive your physical vitality after 60. These aren't trends or hacks. They're real research-backed solutions trusted by thousands of men I've worked with over the years. No side effects, no prescriptions, just nature doing what it does best. But before we get to that list, it's important to understand why circulation breaks down after 60, what really causes those veins to tighten and slow down, and what subtle signs you might be ignoring right now. Because once you understand that, these 5 foods won't just be suggestions, they'll feel like the roadmap back to the man you used to be. So stay with me. You may already have the 3rd food sitting quietly in your fridge, and it's more powerful than most pills you've ever tried. Let's begin. Number 1, beets, the natural nitric oxide booster. There's something about beets that surprises even the most skeptical men I've worked with. When I first recommend them, some raise an eyebrow. Beets, really? But weeks later, they come back with a different expression. Relief, sometimes even disbelief. Doc, something's different. I wake up feeling more alive. Things are working again. That's because beets, humble as they may seem, are one of nature's most powerful tools for restoring circulation, especially where it matters most after 60. Beets are rich in dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule essential for relaxing and widening your blood vessels. And that process is critical because when your vessels are open, blood flows more easily, especially to the areas that tend to slow down with age. For men, that means stronger performance, improved intimacy, and even better control over urination. I've had men tell me they feel warmer in their legs, their hands, their lower region, like something switched back on. That's not just circulation improving, that's life returning. And this isn't theoretical, it's measurable. Clinical studies show that consuming beetroot juice or roasted beets regularly helps reduce blood pressure, improve endothelial function, and increase stamina during both physical and intimate activities. But even more than the numbers, it's what it gives back emotionally, confidence, connection, and a renewed sense of manhood. I remember a 70-year-old patient, widowed for years, who said he had given up on romance. 2 months into a beetroot diet, he met someone new and told me, "I feel like I'm 40 again." I didn't know food could do that. Beets aren't a magic pill, but they are a powerful start. Whether juiced, roasted, or blended into a smoothie, they support circulation in a way most supplements simply can't. And for men over 60 looking to stay vibrant, present, and connected, it's one of the smartest foods you can bring into your routine. But beets are just the beginning, because the next food I'll share doesn't just support blood flow, it mimics the effects of certain performance-enhancing medications without the side effects. And chances are it's already on your summer picnic table. Let's take a closer look. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. Number 2, watermelon, nature's Viagra. I still remember the look on my patient's face when I suggested watermelon. He chuckled and said, "Doc, I thought you were going to prescribe something serious." I smiled and told him, "Just trust me." 3 weeks later, he walked into my office beaming. "You were right," he said. "Said it's working." You see, watermelon isn't just a sweet summer fruit. It's one of the most underrated weapons we have for improving circulation and restoring intimacy in older men. What makes watermelon so powerful is an amino acid called citrine. Once inside your body, citrine is converted into another compound, arginine, which then boosts nitric oxide production. That nitric oxide relaxes your blood vessels, allowing better blood flow throughout the body, especially to the pelvic region. And when blood flows better there, everything begins to function better. Firmer performance, stronger connection, and more natural desire. It's a gentle process, but incredibly effective. For men over 60, where natural testosterone levels may dip and vascular elasticity declines, watermelon acts like a natural support system. It doesn't force anything. It enhances what your body still wants to do. One man I treated, 74 years old, told me he hadn't felt alive down there in over a year. He started eating watermelon daily, just fresh slices after dinner. And within a few weeks, he said he started waking up with morning energy again, both mentally and physically. The beauty of watermelon is that it's enjoyable and easy to add to your life. You're not choking down pills or dealing with side effects. You're just enjoying something refreshing and sweet while silently repairing the flow of life beneath the surface. And for older men who feel like that part of their life is gone, it's not. It's just waiting to be unblocked. But if watermelon gently opens the door, the next food kicks it wide open. It's not sweet or juicy. In fact, it's something many men overlook at every meal. But what it does to your arteries, especially those leading to the most private parts of your body, is nothing short of remarkable. Don't miss this one. Number 3, spinach, the leaf that opens arteries. Spinach isn't flashy, it doesn't come in bright colors or exotic packaging, and it rarely takes center stage in anyone's diet. But beneath its humble appearance lies a powerful secret. Spinach has the unique ability to improve circulation in a way that few other foods can. And for men entering their 60s and beyond, that can mean the difference between feeling like a shell of their former selves and feeling truly alive again. Over the years, I've met countless men, fathers, husbands, professionals, who tell a similar story. They speak of fading energy, mental fog, emotional distance, and a loss of physical intimacy. They say things like, "I just don't feel like myself anymore," or "my spark is gone." And often these complaints are dismissed as a normal part of aging. But when you look deeper, you find a common thread. Poor blood flow, sluggish, underperforming circulation that fails to deliver oxygen and nutrients where they're needed most. And that's where spinach comes in. This leafy green is more than just a salad base. It's a vessel for transformation. Rich in natural nitrates, magnesium, and folate, spinach works at the cellular level to relax and dilate blood vessels. These nutrients encourage the production of nitric oxide, a molecule that signals blood vessels to widen and improve their elasticity. When your arteries are open and relaxed, blood can flow more freely, not just to your heart and brain, but to every corner of your body, including your most intimate areas. This isn't hypothetical. It's something I've witnessed firsthand. One patient, a 69-year-old man who had nearly given up hope, began incorporating spinach into his daily routine. Nothing dramatic, just adding a handful to his morning eggs or steaming some at night with dinner. Within 3 weeks, he returned to my office with tears in his eyes. "I feel like a man again," he said. "My energy is back, my confidence is back, and my relationship with my wife, it's like we're newlyweds." His story isn't unique. What he experienced wasn't a miracle, it was biology. Better blood flow means better oxygen delivery, improved nerve responsiveness, and more reliable function throughout the body. It's not just about sexual performance. It's about reconnecting with yourself and those around you. When circulation improves, you don't just feel more awake, you feel more emotionally available. You're more present, more engaged, more you. Spinach supports this in a quiet, dependable way. You don't need to eat mountains of it. Even a few handfuls a day can start to undo years of vascular decline. It's like tuning up an old engine, not with brute force, but with the right fuel and a bit of patience. Over time, blood begins to move the way it should. Organs receive the nourishment they need, and the body, once sluggish and unresponsive, begins to wake up. There's a profound dignity in that. The return of energy, vitality, and intimacy isn't just physical, it's emotional. It's a restoration of confidence, of connection, of the feeling that your body is still capable of supporting the life you want to live. Spinach may be a simple food, but its impact is anything but simple. And if spinach can gently coax your body back into motion, just wait until you hear what's next. Because the next food on the list isn't green or leafy. It's rich, dark, and surprisingly indulgent. And yet, its effects on men's health, especially where it matters most, are turning heads in the medical community. Let's take a closer look. Number 4, dark chocolate. Yes, chocolate. When I first mention dark chocolate to my patients, their reaction is almost always the same. Surprise followed by a smirk. "You're telling me chocolate is good for my blood flow?" they ask, half joking, clearly thinking I must be stretching the truth. But the truth is, when chosen wisely and eaten in moderation, dark chocolate, real dark chocolate, is one of the most unexpectedly powerful tools for improving circulation and revitalizing intimate health, especially for men over 60. The secret lies in a group of compounds called flavonoids, natural antioxidants found in high concentrations in cocoa. Flavonoids help your blood vessels relax, reduce internal inflammation, and crucially boost the production of nitric oxide in the body. Nitric oxide is the molecule that signals your arteries to dilate, allowing for improved blood flow. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients can reach all parts of the body, including those essential for intimacy, energy, and emotional connection. This isn't about eating candy. It's about using a targeted, nutrient-rich food to gently support your vascular system in a way that feels natural and sustainable. I remember one patient, a 73-year-old man who had quietly struggled with low confidence and distance in his relationship for years. At my suggestion, he started a simple nightly ritual: 2 small squares of 85% dark chocolate after dinner. That's it. Nothing fancy. A month later, he returned for a follow-up, smiling with a kind of quiet confidence. He shared that he and his wife had shared an evening they hadn't experienced in years. "It felt natural," he said, "like we'd found our rhythm again." That kind of reconnection, physical and emotional, often begins with something as basic as better blood flow. And dark chocolate, when used wisely, is a subtle yet powerful ally in making that happen. But what sets dark chocolate apart isn't just what it does physically. It also offers a daily moment of genuine pleasure. In a world full of restrictions and diets, dark chocolate can feel like a reward, something indulgent that also supports your health goals. That emotional component shouldn't be overlooked. Pleasure, joy, and comfort are part of a well-rounded approach to health, especially in later life. However, not all chocolate is created equal. The key is to choose the right kind. At least 70% cocoa content, ideally 85%, with low added sugar and minimal processing. This is where the flavonoids live, in the dark, slightly bitter part of the chocolate that many people learn to savor over time. You don't need a lot. Just a couple of small pieces a day can be enough to support nitric oxide production and encourage healthy circulation. So yes, dark chocolate deserves a spot on your plate, or rather in your hand after dinner. It's a simple, delicious, and effective way to nourish your body and your connection with your partner. And if this surprised you, just wait, because the next food on our list doesn't melt in your mouth and certainly doesn't come in a wrapper. Its smell alone is enough to make some men hesitate, but its effect on your arteries? That's nothing short of extraordinary. Let's take a look. Number 5, garlic. The artery cleaner. If there's one food that's been underestimated for generations, it's garlic. Sure, people know it adds flavor to food, but what most don't realize, especially men over 60, is just how profoundly garlic can clean out the very arteries that fuel your strength, your energy, and your intimacy. I've had men come into my office worried, embarrassed, even ashamed that their bodies weren't responding the way they used to. And time after time, when we focused on improving their blood flow from the inside out, starting with garlic, they came back with stories of quiet transformation. Garlic contains a compound called allicin, which is released when it's chopped or crushed. This natural chemical works like a scrub brush for your arteries, helping dissolve plaque buildup, reduce blood pressure, and improve overall vessel flexibility. That's not just good for your heart, It's life-changing for the smaller, more sensitive vessels in your lower region. One man told me he started adding fresh garlic to his evening meals, not expecting much. But within weeks, he noticed something subtle but powerful. His hands and feet were warmer, his nighttime bathroom trips decreased, and his body felt more awake. Most importantly, he said, I felt connected again to myself and to her. It's not always easy at first. The taste is strong and the smell can linger. But what garlic gives you in return far outweighs the initial bite. It supports smoother blood flow, enhances oxygen delivery, and helps rebuild the foundation of your vitality without drugs, without procedures, just honest-to-goodness natural healing. And when combined with the other 4 foods we've discussed, it becomes even more effective. Because while each of these foods is powerful on its own, the real magic happens when you bring them together, supporting your circulation, hormones, and nervous system like a full team working in sync. How these foods work together individually. Each of these foods, beets, watermelon, spinach, dark chocolate, and garlic, offers its own unique benefits. But when you bring them together, something powerful happens. It's like assembling a team where every player knows their role. One supports nitric oxide, another clears your arteries, one nourishes the blood vessels, while the next reduces pressure and inflammation. Over time, your circulation doesn't just improve, it transforms. I've had patients who tried 1 or 2 of these foods in isolation and noticed subtle changes. But when they combined them in a balanced, consistent way, they reported more energy, stronger intimacy, and even a sense of reclaiming their youth. This is why garlic, in particular, should not be overlooked. It's affordable, accessible, and truly a gift from nature for men who want to feel alive, confident, and connected once again. So whether you're cooking a savory meal or blending it into a dressing, a little bit of garlic every day can make a big difference. But before we finish, let me share one final tip. The best way to prepare garlic for maximum benefit is to crush or chop it and let it sit for about 10 minutes before cooking. This allows the allicin to fully develop, giving you the most potent artery cleaning effect. But the men who committed to weaving all 5 into their weekly routine, that's where I've seen real breakthroughs. One gentleman, 67 years old, was skeptical, but agreed to give it 30 days. He started his mornings with beet juice and spinach omelets, enjoyed watermelon after dinner, added garlic to his soups, and finished his day with a square of dark chocolate. At the end of the month, he told me his legs didn't ache when he walked anymore. He felt clearer, slept better, and most touching of all, his wife had noticed the difference too. I didn't expect this, he told me. I feel like I've taken my body back. And that's exactly what these foods are designed to do. They don't just help your blood flow better, they support your confidence, rebuild your energy, and restore the emotional connection that so many men fear they've lost with age. It's not a diet, it's a return to wholeness. So in this last part, let me speak to you man to man about what happens if you do nothing and why it's not too late to turn everything around. A second chance at strength and connection. I've spent more than 30 years sitting across from men just like you. Men who felt their best years were behind them, who quietly accepted the idea that fatigue, disconnection, and declining intimacy were just the price of aging. But I'm here to tell you that's not the truth. Not even close. What I've seen over and over again is that the body, when given the right support, can recover even after 60, even after 70. Sometimes all it takes is a shift in what's on your plate to create a shift in how you feel, think, move, and love. These 5 foods we talked about today aren't hype. They're not some passing trend. They're the building blocks of blood flow, and blood flow is life. Beets to open your vessels, watermelon to awaken natural desire, spinach to support every heartbeat, dark chocolate to relax the arteries, garlic to clean them out. When used together, they don't just improve your numbers, they restore what many men thought was gone for good. And most of all, don't give up on yourself. Because strength after 60 isn't about being who you were, it's about becoming who you were always meant to be, a man who chooses to keep living fully. If this message has spoken to you, stay with me, because the next video may just open your eyes to the hidden habits that are still blocking your progress. No matter how healthy you eat, you won't want to miss it.